Welcome to Power Fridays Live, the channel that aims to make a difference in the world through transformation, spiritual growth, and for entrepreneurs. Our vision is to empower individuals to live their lives with purpose and to make a positive impact on the world. We believe that power and purpose are the driving forces behind success and fulfillment in both personal and professional life. Through our broadcast, we discuss business strategies and techniques that can help entrepreneurs achieve their goals and take their business to the next level. We believe that through sharing knowledge and experience, we can empower each other to succeed and make a difference in the world. Now here's our host, Janelle Pulley.
Welcome to Power Fridays Live, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. I have with me my co-host, Devon Joseph. We're super excited to have him with us, and we are also excited to have Michele Swan, an entrepreneur who is the first entrepreneur I can say that we have with global representation. So welcome, Michele. We're super excited to have you here, representing your global brand, and really look forward to finding out more about you and how you got started.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Hello, Mr. Joseph. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to, spread any knowledge or give any information that anyone could need. Um, going global is like, it's not an easy task, but I'm here to walk, answer any questions, walk anybody through any misconceptions about, going global, working in different countries, and what people as Americans see working outside of the country. So I'm here to clear anything up because I've been there for a while and I have a lot of stories to tell.
Well, we definitely look forward to hearing more stories from you, Michele. And Devon, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
We're doing fine. How are you, Mr. Joseph?
I'm blessed. Can't complain. Welcome to Power Fridays Live. We're happy to have you here today.
Yes, I'm happy. I never really, you guys got to send me the link to this video. I'm super excited. I got to share this link actually. This is something that people need to know, I mean, because so many times entrepreneurs is like, we're busy working and sometimes you want to just share the little success that you have with somebody else also who's on the road of being an entrepreneur. So I'm very excited.
Well, I'm very excited too, Michele. So with that being said, where are you from originally?
I am originally from South America. I'm originally from Guyana, Georgetown, Guyana.
Oh, great. And so what brought you to saying, I don't want to work for the man anymore, and I want to work for myself and become an entrepreneur? What was the story behind the story that brought you to this point?
You know what? Actually, life brought me into that. I was actually forced into being an entrepreneur. And I was in the medical field. Well, actually, I went to school for criminal justice, and then that didn't work out. Then I went into the medical field because, much Caribbean people, we just automatically go into the medical field. And I have a daughter who has epilepsy, and I had to stay home and take care of her. And usually when you have a child that's sick and your heart it bleeds for giving the child attention, but then you have to still pay your bills. So what happened was I decided to come up with an idea, and I didn't even know if it was going to work. I remember contacting Mr. Joseph, who we went to school together. Him and I have a long history of working in leadership. He was like one of my top mentors I looked up to when I was in high school. And I swung the idea past him, and he was like, wow, this is amazing. And from that, I did make a lot of mistakes to fast forward to where I'm at right now. So, it all takes a good person to listen to you and someone who believes in you. And at one point I didn't even believe in myself actually. So, but I never gave up. He was a very good mentor, a very good person to encourage me, and this is where I'm at right now.
Well, we thank you so much for being a great visionary and CEO and founder of, and if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Azany.
Yes, yes.
Okay, a leading e-commerce company, and I'm so happy that your journey brought you to this. And being a mother, I want to acknowledge you for that. And caring for your child and looking at the opportunity and not being silent about what you shared. And you brought up a good point. Having the courage to step out on faith made a real difference for you. So, Devon, can you share with us a little bit about how was that engagement with her to where you helped her exude that massive action mentality, my friend?
Absolutely, absolutely. The one great thing about great leaders and great people is exactly they take massive action, and Michelle has always been known to take massive action. She's the type of person you can give a project to, and she would take that project and turn it into something spectacular, way beyond your vision. So when she came to me with her vision, I just knew it was just a matter of time before it blow up and became something amazing. She's an incredible woman leader, and she's providing jobs for a lot of people in Africa also. And we can't forget that, because when as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, when you're providing jobs for people, you're feeding a lot of mouth, right? They don't stop with just that one person coming in, right? Because they depend on you to feed their families. So I always have to give kudos to those that provide jobs, as Michelle are doing, and she's just been outstanding, man. So I'm just happy to have her on today with us, and let's make this thing happen.
Devon, he forgot to tell you how he made me stress me when we pulled my hair out. I had to come up with 100 names to name my first company. He gave me my first assignment, 100 names. Devon, tell the truth that you
Absolutely,
actually literally
absolutely.
pulled it out of me.
Absolutely, and that's how you pull out of people, because the first few names will be, the surface level names, right? But when you get to 50, 60, now you really start to push your mind to think and really be creative and really be impactful to the people that's ultimately your target market, that's ultimately gonna be using your products and service. So we always say go 100, and by the time you get to 100, you will have a spectacular name for your business.
Yes. Yeah, that I agree. That one I would never forget that one. Yeah, that I agree with him 100%.
Well, I think the name is so jazzy, and and what type of brand is exactly being an e-commerce brand? Then how did you, beyond developing the name, develop what you were going to do with the company?
Well, originally we started off as a fintech company. Actually, what we wanted to do was a smart card. So, from being from Guyana, that was another whole story. We actually really came up with a smart card. So when we came up with the smart card, this card was supposed to hold 5 different currencies on one card. And the reason why that was born, because for somebody, I travel a lot, and it's such a headache when you have to go to different types of it's either money changers in the country, or going to a teller and trying to exchange money, and then you don't get the money that you really value. So what happened was that was actually the first business was a smart card. So but then when we thought about it, it was like, how many people are we really going to serve? So when we started doing the smart card, we was like, you know what, let us have an e-commerce platform, so now that we could use the smart card, so now it's just not just for people who are traveling, it's for people who are shopping and traveling and want to buy things in different countries. Because so many times I go to different countries and I see something, and and I it's either I haven't made up my mind yet, or is this something like, okay, say if you want to go, you're going to France, and you see something that's it's $300, but it's out your budget, because you already budgeted yourself for this trip. But now that I have this e-commerce platform, I can now go and say, you know what? When I go back to the US and I have some money, I'll buy that $300 item I seen in France. So now I could be at home shopping using my smart card and getting reward points as that too. We added reward points, whereas that you can get free, it depends on where your location is. So you can get free medical, you can get free shipping, you can get a Visa card, or just buy that item for free. So, it didn't really start off as an e-commerce platform. It actually evolved from a smart card into an e-commerce platform to where we're at right now. So we have an e-commerce platform, and everybody says e-commerce. I think we're more of a tech company because of the services that we're providing to the community. So we're more of a tech company, and e-commerce is just a product of what we offer.
Okay, great. And then how many continents do you serve?
So right now, we're in the U.S. We're in Nigeria, where I have a second headquarters. We're in doing something in Kenya, actually. So we're in Kenya, Cape Verde, Ghana, South Africa, and we're hoping to add on Zambia and Uganda and Tanzania soon.
Oh wow, I'm super. That's a lot. As someone, it's like, okay, here over in the States, it's like, oh, it's like huge, it's like amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that information with us. And in going from a smart card and saying, hey, we want to make sure that we have a global brand, and then we're not just limited to this one area. And now you're having jobs for several people. How do you like onboard? I guess, do you work with business partners?
So when we first went into Africa, it wasn't easy. I would say I wouldn't say it was easy. I would say it was very challenging, to learn the culture, because, there's so many different things that we do here in America that they don't do in Africa. So when I first went into country, when I onboard somebody, I did everything legally. I did, when we registered the business, I hired attorneys in that country because they know the law. Because we have to remember, me as a United States citizen, going into these countries, we have to register our business as a foreign entity in these countries, and which is we get a lot of protection also, as Americans. So we're registered as a foreign entity, and if anything happens, our government steps in. If there's a problem, our government steps in. So there's a little protection, being registered as a foreign entity. I used a lot of lawyers because it wasn't, I kind of actually saved my money to do all of this. It was very tedious at one point because you can't go into the mindset of, this is what we do in America, this is how it's going to happen in another country. So it was a lot of learning. It was a huge learning curve for me, actually. And I'm very excited because not only do I take the playbook from one country, I'm pretty much all these African countries work, they work around the same kind of things they do. Register, you have to be a foreign company. And so we just took the first playbook into Nigeria, which is the largest populated country in Africa. And the reason why I picked Nigeria, because of the population, the human population. So I said, if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong in Nigeria, and they're going to teach me a lesson, and I'm going to learn from there.
Yes, I can imagine all of the lessons that you've learned in business over the years.
Yes.
And choosing the different ways that you're going to expand your business.
Yeah, and I just came back actually like about 3 weeks ago. I just came back from Africa. I was in UK for a couple of days, and I just needed a breather. But I'm actually leaving to go to Kenya, because Kenya is such a beautiful city, and Kenya is almost it's like the New York of Africa, And I'm super excited to go to Kenya, and I invite anybody to, because another thing is, too, people don't realize that people who write books, and they have different recipes. African people, they love our culture also. They love reading books written by American people, especially African American women. They love to hear what we have to say. They love to hear what we do, how we cook different meals for our children, how we take care of our children. Because a lot of different things that we do here, sometimes they might have healthy things down there, but there's certain ways and techniques that we do things that they are open to, embrace certain things that Americans do here also.
Oh wow, that's interesting to learn. And of course, being a woman who's world traveler, you would know these things. And so is there anything else that you can share with us about the stories that you've had and some challenges that you've had to overcome?
Well, the main story about Africa that people should not believe that people are down there with big bellies and flies all over their mouth. That is not the scenario that is down there. They have people down there who are going to work in a Bentley, and they're in Africa. Okay, you have
Mm.
people who are there that are making seven figures digits, and they're making U.S. currency. They have large companies, Fortune $5 trillion companies that are there. So that misconception that Africa is poor, Africa doesn't have anything, that's just a myth. And that's a myth that people need to know, that you do have remote places that are in villages, but that's just very remote. And the chances of you seeing that is very slim. And if you want to do a tour, they're taking you maybe like 3-4 hours out of the city. So the chances of you seeing a woman in a hut, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna you see it. But Africa is a very beautiful place to invest in. If people do want to go, I would say, do it with caution. Find out the area you want to go to first, research it, visit there, understand the culture, understand the money exchange. With everything that's going on here in America right now, with the coups that's going on in Africa, the currency exchanges are changing. So that means, people are your money that you have here in the U.S. is worth a lot of more money there. So if you have a lot of more money there to work with, that means you can get a lot more done. And when I mean get a lot more done, you could hire more hands, because people down there, believe it or not,
Mhm.
it's a shame, but they really do work for pennies on a dollar. But
Mm.
if you give somebody a good salary, they're okay. They have enough to take care of their whole family. And then us as an American company, they look up to us. We try to improvise also. Where is it that we give an extra 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira. We give out bonuses. We give out data to our employees. We try to show them a different standards on the work ethics here in the US. Because here in the US, I think we have good work ethics. I think, getting paid weekly is very important. In Africa, I'm like probably one of the first companies that pay weekly. Most companies in Africa pay once a month, and that's it.
Oh wow.
I can't imagine, as a mother, having a paycheck once a month. By the time I get it and I pay all my bills, I'm like, where's my money going? So we
Mhm.
implemented paying once a week. And actually I got interviewed for that actually in Africa. They were so like intrigued by that our company is paying them every single week. And and because we pay every single week, we have much more loyalty from the employees. They
Ah.
come to work often. Um, they're willing to stay longer. They're willing to give you more positive input. It's less fraud that you're facing, because now they understand that they have a company who cares for them. They're less likely to steal items, because they know they're getting a paycheck every single week. So it's less fraud and less. Of course, you're gonna have sometimes people steal from you, but it's less of that, because they understand that somebody cares for them and somebody's paying them a week so they can take care of their families.
Oh, well, that's great. That's phenomenal. I'm so glad that you're able to pay people weekly and that the employees appreciate that. And it sounds like your employees are in the global countries as well, and they're not just American employees. Can you tell us
No,
a
they're
little
not
bit
just
about that?
American employees. We deal with three different countries. So every Friday we're paying out in Naira, we're paying out in Kenya, we're paying out in Ghana CDs, and we're paying out in African Rand. So that we're paying out every single week.
I've not even heard of but one of those currencies.
and and I think that's one of the important things about what Michelle is doing, because while we're here in the U.S., we used to just jump in from state to state, um, with no problem, right? We don't need to share a passport. We don't need to show IDs. But in Africa, Africa is split up into different countries. So every country you go into, you have to show a different passport. So with the African Vision Card, not only do you have to share a different passport every time you go into different countries, the money change, right?
Yes.
There's different money that to just like is, and if you guys think about it, it's the same continent. It's like us leaving New York and going into New Jersey and have to use a different money, a different show our passports and such. Well, so what she started when she created the Africa Vision Card was you were able to go across borders and you were able to use this card to do transactions, right? And that's the powerful thing about what she's doing. She's really changing Africa for the better, to try and give them the same access that we have here in the U.S. With the Africa Vision Card, Azany, and so many other companies she's creating and just trailblazing across Africa.
Yeah, and I want to mention also too our rewards program. So most of the times when people in Africa they shop and they have debit cards just like how we have debit cards. They get the debit cards the same day. Like if anybody wants an Africa Vision card, they go to the bank and they get the card the same day. It's printed with their name and they put their PIN code on there. Um, One of the best things about our program is that I have a lot of companies reaching out to me is our rewards program. Because sometimes in Africa, people will call you just like here in the US. They'll be like, oh, can I have $20? Can I have $30? Sometimes people just don't have that $20. They don't have, and they have an emergency. But what we did was we connected with a lot of hospitals. We're trying to get gas stations because they're having issues with fuel. Fuel is so expensive now. We hooked up with pharmacies. We have connected with hospitals. We've connected with schools because the more you spend your card and you use your debit card, you gain reward points. So those reward points can go now. It could be a situation where is it that you don't have any money, but you have reward points from us, and those reward points work on real life. So if you need data for your phone, or you need to pay a hospital bill, you cash in your data. As long as you're in our network, you'll be able to get your services for free using those reward points. And we pay our vendors immediately once our customers are utilizing their services.
And that's powerful. It sounds like, and when people in the US hear reward points, we might be thinking of reward in the way reward cards work in America, but that's actually reward on steroids, right? Because you
Yes.
can access at hospitals, you can access all these high level things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to access in America with a rewards card. So this in a different country, what you have been able to accomplish, what you've been able to achieve is actually very phenomenal, and we don't want to take that for granted because again, you're revolutionizing the way Africa's e-commerce is evolving, right? And Azany has grown into Africa's largest online multi-vendor marketplace under your leadership. What were the biggest challenges you faced during this journey, and how did you overcome them?
So my biggest hurdles was team building. I must say, team building was a huge hurdle. There's so many times that you think you found the right partner, or you found the right, manager, or you found the right leader to help take over, the different countries that we're in. And sometimes we find people who they say they can do the job on the paper, but in reality that they can't. So it brings me to where is it now that um, I have to physically be there. And I say it all the time that Africa is new. Africa still has different things that it needs to know, as far as like I'm looking for mentors to help mentor my leaders, because even though they went to school and they have great universities in Africa, but it's still like different policies and procedures they have to learn how to follow. Their ideal of following the policy and procedures, it's like, it's just like, it's like going back to Moses and Abraham days. But if they have what we did was set up different 20-minute videos to help our management team to understand policies and procedures, coming to work on time, talking to how to talk to management, how to follow the chain of command, different little things that they didn't understand, like how we did. Most of the times in Africa, they don't have a policy and procedure book. They're not signing on the dotted line that you receive this book, and this book has how the company's vision is and how the company is being ran. So they don't have that in Africa. And when I brought that, they were like, is this a new Bible? Like, no, this is just an addition to your Bible on how we do
Absolutely.
things at the company, and how we want the company to run, and how we want you to be when you're part of the company, how you're supposed to react, and how, because sometimes when you have different emotions and different cultures, they do things differently. But we have standards here in the US, and and us being registered as a foreign entity, I still expect those type of same standards also to be ran. So we have a policy and procedure book here. There's going to be a policy and procedure books there, and we want everyone to follow the rules and regulations of the company and have the same exact vision, and we'll all be on the same board.
Simply powerful. Empowering African businesses and providing convenience to consumers seem to be at the core of Azany's vision. Can you elaborate on how Azany Inc. is achieving this goal, and specific programs or initiatives you have implemented to support local entrepreneurs?
Well, right now, what we do is our rewards program was our biggest initiative that we had to help and to do. But what we started to do was have town hall meetings. So when we go to a new city in Africa, what we do is have town hall meetings, and those town hall meetings, people are allowed to talk to me, ask me any questions, ask me how I started. We just started having motivational speakers that help our community. We also started, when before we realized that data was an issue, and we used to try to support our vendors and our online community through motivational Monday. But we realized that people wasn't reading it because of data was an issue in Africa. So if data is an issue in Africa, what's the sense of having that, reaching them through the internet? So the most important thing, what we did decide to do, was have very small town hall meetings. So where is it that we're meeting them in the community, and we're actually feeding them too at the same time? So when we have these town hall meetings, we're having a lunch buffet. So people are well fed, people are understanding, they're eating and hearing us at the same time. And to me, that kind of went hand in hand better than trying to reach everyone. So now when people are hearing, of course, there's, food at the venue. Now we're not just getting 10 and 20 no more. Now we're getting 300 and 400 people coming out. And then they're spreading the word on this amazing company that's in Africa, that's giving reward points and that's giving back to the community. So we have a couple of different avenues. And right now we are running one of the largest giveaways, actually. I think 2 weeks ago it was 85 days till Christmas, and I think right now we're at like 72 or 73 days left to Christmas. So what we're doing one of our largest online giveaways, where we're giving away data to people, 10 people every single day in Africa, so that they could follow us, hear us. And we're actually doing funny reels, actually. We're doing reels this week, actually, real life situations to help benefit what Azany reward programs do and what Azany has come to Africa to do also.
Powerful power. I love it. I love it. And I love that you identify Azany as a tech company, because we've seen the support fintech companies have gotten in the tech space, right? Um, One of the things I wanted to ask you really quick, can Michelle, can you hear me? Did I lose her? I think, bear
Hello?
with us, y'all. We might. Oh, there we go. We
Hello?
lost you there. Yeah, we lost you there for a quick second, right?
Hi, I
So
can't hear you.
you can hear me now.
Devon, I can't hear.
Let me see what's going on with
I'm
tech.
not sure what happened with the technical
Oh,
difficulties.
yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
All right,
I can hear
Can,
you.
can you hear Devon?
can you hear me
No,
now?
I can't hear Devon.
Okay, I apologize for that. And so, Devon, you were asking her what exactly?
Can you hear me, Janelle?
I can hear you.
So I was asking her, leading a successful company like Azany
Janelle,
requires.
I still can't hear him.
I know. I'm going to interpret. I
Oh, okay.
apologize. He,
All
he
right.
has this. He has a super duper uh, security, high tech security thing where his security is probably in doing its thing. So that's probably why you can't hear him.
Okay, okay.
So
Yes.
what I was asking her, leading a successful company like Azani requires constant innovation. What strategies do she employ to stay ahead of the ever evolving e-commerce industry, and how do she ensure that Azani remains a leader in the marketplace?
Okay, great. So he's asking the question, which this is an awesome question about the innovation with your company. And so, how do you stay relevant in the marketplace with your company, Azani being one of the, I guess, forefront leaders in the e-commerce business?
Well, you know what we do, how we stay relevant. Let me tell you honestly, Africa has amazing talent. Africa has one of the smartest set of people on this planet, and I don't take them for granted. I appreciate everything that actually when I'm there, I learn actually a lot from them. And one thing Devon always told me, I give you a little secret. He always said to me, he always says, Michelle, when you go to Africa, remember it's like a time machine, you know? So he said that to me, and I always kept it in my mind, like, the time machine. So when I go to Africa and I bring something new to them, I always keep in mind that he always tells me this. So then it's just like, so I just try to go what we have here that works in the US and what works there in Africa, and I try to put them together to make something that's innovative, which is it that could actually also be beneficial to the continent and also to the US.
Okay, great. So the innovation is like merging America and
But yeah,
Africa.
what works here and works there, and what Americans need there too. There's so many different things that Americans can get involved in Africa. Like, when I was there, I was having a whole fit when I was down there. Like, I couldn't find any turkey bacon. So if anybody wants to ship in turkey bacon, please start shipping in turkey bacon, because I don't care how much it costs. I will be one of those people to buy it.
Oh, great. I may have a product for you. So, the female sanitary napkins. Somebody have that market covered already?
Actually, that's a market that nobody doesn't really have that market. And that's a very, very good market actually, because, I've seen so many people that, they just buy toilet paper and it's not really, that sanitary. So
Yes.
that's a very good market to actually be in, like, hygiene, clean hygiene is very, very important. And even
Mhm.
having it in the airports, that's a made that, they need that too. Just in simple things like, we have it at the HAFK airport, but they don't have it at the airports in Africa.
So basically, you're the connector, it sounds like, for all the products and services that can be provided in the other countries that they may be lacking.
But
Yes, yes. Because
and
actually, one of my countries that I want people to know about is called Cape Verde. There's like about seven islands off of Africa, and nobody really talks about them, But they don't have an e-commerce platform, but they have us, and but they have amazing products, and they want products from the US so bad, and they were so excited. They even reached out to me actually to come into their country, to have our e-commerce, and the relationship is amazing. The government is amazing, and I'm just happy to even be in Cape Verde.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Devon, Michele, can you hear Devon now?
Yeah, I can hear him now.
All right, awesome. Go ahead. So let's continue, right?
Cape Verde. I learned something new today. This has been a geographical section for me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. This has been amazing. So thank you so much, Michele, for opening up and enlarging my territory. I heard the song sang on Sunday, enlarge my territory. My dear friend Michele has enlarged our territory tonight. So we do thank you all for watching Power Fridays Live. And this is where you can get connected with entrepreneurs and just really learning the innovative and the strategies that an entrepreneur can have and what contribution that you can make to help their business be more successful, to help your business be successful. So if there's an idea or a thought out there, Devon incorporated and Michele said, oh, yes, you can do it. So if you need that confidence raised, Devon, you're the man. Go ahead.
Oh man. So what we doing? Wrapping up, or are we asking a final question?
You can answer the final questions. We can do a wrap up. Yes.
All right, because I know it's about
But
that
I'm just
time, right?
there's so much more. We need a part 2.
Yeah, definitely. We have to have
I really wish you
Michele
guys
back
had
on.
did this when I was in Africa, because I could show you a little bit of my warehouse. I could show you our store. I could even show you like where I live. I really wish you guys had contacted me when I was there.
Speaking of that, right? And one of the things you spoke about is American products going to Africa, but also let's not forget that Africa have a phenomenal amount of products that that can be transferred into America. And Michele, I don't know if you could speak to the fact that Obama had put some things in place to to have African products and service come into America. Where I think is it less taxes or less
No, actually,
tariffs?
it's no taxes. Actually,
There you
you
go.
don't pay any taxes, and I don't think a lot of people even take advantage of it. It's so much times that our other counterparts knows the laws, and this is why I'm so happy that we have this station, because it's all about education and sharing the information. There's so many different things that they take advantage of that we don't know. Simple things like that. You could bring in cloth, you could bring in coffee, you could bring in cotton to make shirts, you could bring in thread, and you could bring in, anything that's African made, natural resources, and bring it into the country. And it's either you remanufacture it here, or you have it manufactured there and sell it back here, and so many different times, we don't understand. Africa has a lot of natural products, actually, and we need to take advantage of it. A lot of things that we have here it's not good for us. It's not healthy. Our children are overweight, they're obese, and it's a lot of things are not there. But if you understand the herbs and spices, and not even just the food, I mean, just like the clothing, their clothes, they don't change their clothes often, so they have 100% cotton. And because of the cotton there, they pick it, they make everything is 100% cotton in Africa, and I'm pretty sure they'll be excited to want a vendor that wants to buy cotton black shirts and make fancy things here, and be creative.
And when Michele said they don't change their clothes often, she means the quality of their clothes lasts longer. So while the quality in America, you buy a T-shirt today, and in a couple of washes, you have to throw it away. The quality of African products is longer lasting. So she's just trying to bring that to your attention, so of the high quality, and we should keep in mind
Hello?
that. Hey, welcome
I'm
back.
sorry about that. I had an
And,
incoming call.
And we should keep in mind that
Oh, I
when we
can't hear Devon. Janelle, I can't hear Devon again.
every time you
Okay.
go out,
Yeah. So when you went out on, so I was
Janelle, now I
interpreting
can't hear you.
Oh gosh. So, no. Well, he needs to go out and come
Oh,
back in. Can you hear me now?
hi. I can't hear you.
Okay. Um. Can you hear Devon
can you
talk?
hear me, Michelle?
Yeah, Devon, I can hear you now. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I had to refresh. That's the only way how we get you. But I was just, really updating them about the quality of African products, and I think um, that's the power of what you're doing with Azany, right? Yeah, it's not only that you're helping build the e-commerce community in Africa, but what you'll be able to do with trade um, across, I like to say across the pond, but across the ocean to America. Um, it's going to be phenomenal because you'll be able to have African products come into America, uh, the high quality products utilizing the laws or whatever the or policies that
The
they
policies.
so definitely we have to get the word out there. We have to start implementing these things. Um, as a prominent figure in African e-commerce, what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those looking to make a difference in their communities?
To use their creativity. There's so many talent in Africa, and I'm willing to help showcase their talent of their handmade paintings, their handmade clothing. You find women that are there to make shoes. We're gonna be doing micro loans soon. Actually, next year, I think our company's
Huge,
gonna be giving micro loans
huge,
out. So we want to be helpful. We want to actually, because sometimes people don't have money, but they have a product, and leather in Africa, they have real leather. So we're gonna be giving micro loans next year, and we want people to bring those products. And just like the way how you're showcasing me on here, we want to be able to do a live shows where we're showcasing different vendors and the products that they can get, and then we're gonna go through our QC department because America have a very good high standards of quality shoes, clothes, and bags. So our QC departments are going to be going through different things to make sure by the time it gets to a person here in America, it has to travel so far that they like it and they love what they're doing. So we have a lot of things that we're set up to do, for 2024. And we're going to be having our first conference in Atlanta, Georgia,
huge.
and we want to invite you guys. And it's going to be
Absolutely.
showcasing every single country that Azany has been doing business with. So I'm going to be inviting our top vendors and tell them their experience and how they started working with me, and what are their sales are looking like now. So we're keeping data on all of the stuff and data on everything that we do, and we want to showcase that next year in Atlanta, Georgia, for 2024.
Huge. We would love to be a part of that. And
That's my
when you said
backyard. That's in my backyard. Remember?
when you say we're showcasing vendors, are these American vendors or
No,
African
these are
vendors?
African vendors, and of course, we'll have American vendors that want to tell their stories too, or how many things that they shipped into Africa. Because sometimes, when, like I said, turkey bacon is not the only thing that I wanted when I was in Africa. I wanted my Victoria's Secrets. I ran out of stuff from Victoria's Secrets, and I can't get Victoria's Secrets when I'm in Africa, and Victoria's Secrets don't sell to Africa.
Yes.
There's different things like Bed Bath and Beyond. There's different. I want a certain scent I want to smell. So there's different things that too people can come on our platform too and find out what's trending. Because there are Americans that live in Africa, and we want sometimes what we're used to, certain things, especially women.
And I
Yes.
think in having the conversation, I think we mentioned Africans clothing and all these different quality products, but it don't stop there in just clothing, music, and these small products such as spices and cotton and all that, because it's phenomenal. Michelle has shared with me what they're doing in construction, right? I've seen these African architects that take it to the next level. African architects that came to school here in America, got their degree and went back home, and it's just revolutionizing the whole construction industry. So it is phenomenal. So when you're looking at what African has to offer, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. I think that's what I want to communicate. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Um, look at Africa, because you may find a better way of doing it, or,
Yes.
or, or a way that you didn't even think of, that it'll give your products or service, a building for that matter, an exquisite look. Especially with I know I deal with a lot of developers and hotel builders, and what I've seen these architects is doing and actually doing in Africa is really phenomenal. So I want to put that out there as we have this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. And the real estate over there too is amazing. I'm telling you, go there. Don't look for huts. You're not gonna find it, because we recently moved from where we're at in Africa to another location, and we moved to our smart house. And our smart house, we don't need keys to get in. We use our fingerprints, our face recognition. Our bathroom is beautiful. It's like, sometimes when I'm home here, I'm like, okay, I need to hurry and go back to Africa. Like our houses are smart houses. So they have a lot to offer, and there's different things that they're doing in Africa that they're not doing here in the US.
That's innovative. That's innovative technology. The biotechnology is what creates
Yes.
a smart house. So, Michele, we did include your LinkedIn. Is it LinkedIn.com/shop Azany? It's been
Yes, we have.
scrolling.
Yeah, we have actually. We're actually telling our brand story on LinkedIn. We're trying so hard to, like, let people know who we are, and please expect reels next week. We have like 3 reels coming out of just funny skits, so people can understand Azani a little bit more, and it's gonna probably be in different languages, because of course, the major languages and major tribes in Africa are different. There's a lot of different tribes, they don't speak the same languages. So we're gonna have a lot of reels coming in next week, and then we're gonna get our largest giveaway for the holiday, actually. So we're excited about that also.
Mhm. And we have shopazani.com as your email, as your website.
Yes,
Shopazani.com.
shopazani.com.
That's been
Yes.
scrolling most of this broadcast. So please do, go to shopazani.com. And as we close out, and this has been a longer than we normally have an interview for, but it's been great. And we do want you to watch it and watch the replay. If you have any questions for Michele that you weren't able to answer, just put them in the chat and we'll get back with you. And we will let you know the answers to your questions. If you want to do business with Michele, please do, reach out in the chat and make your request known, and then we'll definitely respond accordingly.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you.
definitely. And to the viewers, man, I really invite y'all to take this opportunity to do business with Michele, right? These opportunities, it will help you expand your brand, your product, your company internationally. So, with that being said, thank you, Michele, for coming on. Janelle, thank you for having me as your co host. It's been great.
Thank you so much for being my co-host, Yvonne, and thank you for knowing Michele, a fellow Guyanian. If I can
Guyanese.
Guyanese.
Guyanese, is that what you say?
I just want my
Guyanese.
flag.
Guyanese,
I'm
and
Guyanese too, so I can't have you miss messing that up with me on the show.
forgive me, forgive me. See, this has been a great learning experience for me. I've gone international, I've gone global, I've learned new
Absolutely.
languages, I've learned how to speak properly. So thank
You
you
learn
so
how to
much.
bring products in without paying taxes.
Yes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to share some of the products and services I have available with you, for the people. And I'm going to become a global brand. So we're looking forward to that. And anyone who's listening, we do look forward to you becoming a global brand as well. And Michele, are there any final words that you would like to share with us? Because I must put this out there. Can we please have you back for part 2?
Yes, definitely. And I want you guys to put me back for a part 2 when I'm actually in Kenya. So I'll be in Kenya in the next 8 days. And I just want you guys to show you guys a little bit about the warehouses that they have set up. I'm sorry about that. And how is it that we ship products from Kenya to the United States? And when I'm back in Nigeria, also, we want to give you guys a little tour, if you don't mind, of our operation and meet some of our vendors that we have. And also, we sell palm oil. Azany started manufacturing his own palm oil,
Huge,
actually.
huge,
So palm oil
huge.
is actually one of the biggest things in our project. I forgot to mention that. That's why we need a part two. So I definitely, and if we could have a couple of, employees on to show you how the things actually work and how, how our day-to-day operation works. How is it somebody, goes on the website, makes an order, we prepare it, ship it to the US, how long you have to wait, and how exciting it is to get something from Africa that is either handmade or you have a production, one of our people in our production that makes like hand leather bags, so it's just like, I know it's like a long things of things that I do, but it's very precise. And, we're trying to become more and more, corporate America, Fortune 500 company and taking it to the next level and not just benefit ourselves, but the community and, everyone that we meet.
Absolutely. That whole palm oil piece is huge. That might need a show in itself because I don't think people really realize how powerful that is. But yes, Janelle, back to
Yeah,
you.
I'll send you our link, Devon, that we have palm oil. We have palm oil now. Actually, that's en route to the U.S. actually, and so far, Whole Foods has picked it up actually. So we're excited about that. It's called Nature's Palm Oil. That's the name of we named it Nature's Palm Oil.
So, did you just say that Whole Foods will be carrying your brand
Yeah,
of
it'll be
palm oil?
it'll be in Whole Foods. Yes, it'll be in Whole Foods.
That's huge.
So
Do
we
you know
have
how many stores?
So far we only spoke to the vendor. I'm not really sure. So we bought in a
Hmm.
container actually, and we have three different sizes. So we have a large size that's $18. And then we have a smaller size that's 15, and then we have another one that's 13. So I could definitely let you know what stores are gonna be selling it. But palm oil is very healthy. I don't know if you guys noticed that in 2013,
There she go
Dr.
again.
Oz was actually on Oprah, and he had a quick talk show and education about palm oil and how healthy palm oil is actually, and he was calling it a miracle drug. So I could definitely share that with you guys, and you guys will share how you cook food and what kind of oils you use. And you don't even need a lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit of palm oil, and it makes a whole lot of difference.
The oil companies in
And it's
America is
it's
gonna.
natural and organic, and it's only natural. And you know where palm oil is only found in? It's only found in Africa.
Oh wow. Oh wow, that is super amazing.
Oh,
Oh
Janelle, I
wow,
can't
I'm
hear
like
you.
super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to. I mean, avocado oil. Look out.
Janelle, I can't hear you.
No more. They say avocado
Oh,
oil and grapeseed oil. Hey, we have palm oil now.
okay, Devon, I can hear you. I can't hear Janelle.
Yeah, Janelle, she went out and she cut out, so she can't hear you. But Chanel will be right back. But yeah, it's huge, and we gotta listen. As soon as it blows up out here, the cooking oil companies in America will not be too happy with you. So you better move fast before they shut you down because palm
Uh,
oil is phenomenal.
I'll
It
tell you.
is really
Well, I'm
phenomenal.
gonna definitely send you the video though. I'm gonna definitely send it to you. I'm excited about that also. I'm telling you, there's a lot of different things that people can get into in Africa. There's so many different things.
So let me
Just don't limit to just
so let me
clothing.
So let me ask you this: growing the brand, are you? How do you grow the brand? Are you taking on investors? Are you opening up to allowing
Right
investors
now,
to invest with you?
right now I'm open to building my team. Like I'm
Hmm.
building a team is the most hardest thing for me, and I really can't say it's
Absolutely.
hard. It's just you have to find people who are on the same wavelength with you. You and I have worked together for a very long time, and we understand each other. And it's a connection also of how important it is to have an ideal and take it from being an ideal to pen and paper to put it in motion, to register in the company, to having a business plan, and to knowing who is your target market. That's what you taught me.
Hmm.
So and with the tools that you have taught me, I've tried to implement it to other people, and sometimes
Entrepreneurs, yeah.
entrepreneurs, and not everybody know they hear you have an idea and they want to be millionaires overnight, and that's not how it works. You can't be a millionaire overnight. It takes time, and a lot of people don't have patience. They don't have patience to build something, to nurture it, and a lot of people understand what it is. But I am taking in investors. I am taking in business partners, and people who want to work on site with me and build with me, and and become millionaires, not just a day or two, but long term. Because another thing is too, Azani, I'm hoping to take it public, and I mean, you talked about it, next year I'll be the first American woman, well, Guyanese American woman, to be on the African stock market, and I'm looking forward to doing that, and I'm just looking forward to. And the reason why I picked Africa is that because my counterparts, they're here in the US, but I just want to build something in Africa that's worth so much money. So by the time I come back to America and I put it in the stock market, it'll be triple times what it's actually worth, because it's hard currency and not just, it's liquid. It's not just, it's hard currency, liquid cash. It's not just credit, because in Africa, they don't deal with credit. They deal with a lot with physical cash.
And that's huge. And I think a lot of people don't even understand that piece, right?
Yeah.
Because when in Africa, certain countries, when they go and buy a house, they're not getting a mortgage because they don't deal with credit. They're paying, if the house is, $200,000 US dollars, they're paying that 200,000 US dollars up front. They don't get the house and the land, and just the land, the process to get the land to build a house on is a process in itself. I've been talking to quite a few people to understand that process, being in the real estate field. So we're looking, and I'm happy I have Michele as a partner. We're looking to definitely put our roots down in Africa. So, a lot of research and a lot of understanding of how the different cultures work is going into play right now. So definitely looking to, become one of those investors, Michele.
Yes, thank you very much. But Africa is an amazing continent. I advise everyone to go and just see it. Just take it all in, and just take in the motherland, and just breathe in clear air, and just eat good food and enjoy the culture.
Let me say this too, man. Whatever you've heard about Africa, throw it out the window. Whatever, this is not feed. Africa isn't like you see the feed the children commercial. It's really not that, right? Technology in Africa is phenomenal. I have friends that go and they club in Africa like Legos, and they go to the club scene, and the club scene is phenomenal. You would think you're in New York,
Yeah,
Times Square party. You know what I'm saying? So all the big artists travel out there and perform just like they do here.
In Lagos, they have a beach.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's just as it is in the U.S. Someone, I think Michele, sent me a video the other day, where there's a video of them driving through a city in Nigeria, and it looks better than a lot of the cities, a lot of the major cities out here. Right.
yeah.
So you definitely, whatever preconceived notions you have at Africa, throw it out the window and understand it's no different than where you are here in America. So if you can build a business in America, definitely reach out to Michele, so you can partner with her, and she can potentially help you put your roots down in Africa so you can build your business internationally or globally, however you want look at it. And Michele, if someone wanted to invest in you, or potentially be in your pre-IPO, is there an email or something they can reach out to you at, to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so it's Michelle with one L at Africa Vision Card. They can send me an email, because we are preparing for that. It took a lot of steps, but my attorneys, they understand why it's so important for me. And I'm doing it for all the young girls and all the other women that have children and they want to do something. And I want the money that we make from this, we're putting it back into the African American communities, into women, into helping other women and helping women get to a global brand, helping them get to, like we said, the microloans that they need, and helping them. Just it's just a little bit of seed shell to help anybody to get where they need to be, and that's all that people need. That's really what it is.
And that's awesome. And I'm happy you said you wanted to help these girls. Because I know you have a book coming out. Janelle, we definitely got to do a part 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because she also has a book coming out. Then do you want to just tell us a little bit about the book?
Yeah, so I've been documenting everything, my experience in Africa, and I'm actually hoping Netflix picks it up. Actually, about me as a black woman that went to Africa, and what my day looks like. What a normal 9 to 5 day looks like in Africa, what it took me to get to where I want to be, and where I'm going with this. So it's not a reality show. I'm not against reality, but I just want people to see the raw footage of I get up in the morning, those when my daughter goes to an American school in Africa, how her day starts off, and the school system there, if you want to be there with your kids also, and what it takes to have a business there, and the opportunities there. And Africa, you're gonna see things that you normally don't see in America, how people hustle all day. Africa, Africa is like the ultimate hustle. It's like everybody there has a hustle, and because but I just want them to see, my book is about just my journey. I'm hoping that it could help another woman, I help even another man. And I did two. Actually, it's like my 2 feet in Africa and finding success in Africa, actually, because finding success, I've been going to Africa, I think, since 2017, and everything didn't happen overnight. So that journey it took me to find a success is what I want people to know.
Absolutely. And as entrepreneurs, we need to know, that people is out there doing it. It kind of makes the transition for us to be able to see the vision and be able to do it too. So that's phenomenal. Janelle?
Yes, well, thank you so much, Michele. I know that your time is very valuable, and your time is your most very valuable asset. We do appreciate you spending the time with us this evening for the past hour. And Devon, thank you so much for being an awesome co-host. As we say, be, do, and have the greatness that you desire, because the greatness is in you. And Michele has explored that greatness globally. So we have our first global entrepreneur tonight, Michele Swan, a mother and a businesswoman. And you can do it if she can do it. So just connect with Michele, and we look forward to you reconnecting with us next week for another Power Fridays Live, where we'll interview another awesome entrepreneur. But Michele, will definitely have you back with a part 2, 3, 4, and 5, because I'm just so excited about the opportunities that you have had in your life come to in your path, and how courageous and the confidence that you exude in your great leadership skills that you've been able to now support and help the community and help many families as well as your own. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, guys. And I can't wait to watch the broadcast. I'm super excited.
Oh, you're welcome. You'll have a free copy coming to you shortly. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week, 7 p.m. at Power Fridays Live here on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks.
Okay.